The Alpha Sessions.
Welcome to Alpha Sessions. I'm Gigi Harland and this is my guest, Rose White. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hello, thank you for having me.
How are we doing so far today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Very excited to have a chat and hear your music.
Yeah.
So I guess take us from the beginning. How did songwriting start for you? What was your journey into music like?
Ooh, so you can probably hear with my accent, I'm not from London, I'm not from UK. I was born and raised in Poland.
Right.
And then the story I like to tell, it did happen. It did happen. I was 20 years old and always wanted to do music. Studying, I was a law student back home, and just deep in my heart, I knew music is something I want to pursue, and London is the place to do. So what I did is I literally had £300, 2 suitcases, and I just booked a flight, moved to London, didn't have a job, didn't know anyone in here. Like, I just started from scratch. And yeah, it's slowly, 7 years later, I built up a network, people around me, and just do it full time, which is quite, like, when I think about it, I'm kind of proud of myself.
That's a big deal. So you do that in, how old were you-ish? Like early 20s? Or?
Yeah, so I literally moved here when I was 20 years old. Now I'm 27. So straight out, like, I left uni. I never graduated. Oops.
I mean, for starters, the fact that you're a law student kind of tells me you're not afraid of taking on a lot of work. Second of all, the fact that you binned off the law student thing to move countries at 20 years old, having no groundwork laid, but having full belief in yourself, tells me that not only are you not work shy, you're also so brave. So, like, it sounds like you've got two of the kind of 4 horsemen required to kind of survive being an independent artist over here. So hats off to you.
I hope so. I'm also quite delusional, which is, I think, what we need.
Crucial.
Like you just believe and you just carry on doing it.
Be so delulu till it's true.
Exactly.
I believe that completely.
Yeah, so you got to be delulu a little bit. But yeah, 7 years later, here we are. And it's crazy to tell this story. And I do it just to put it out there that, you know, you can start doing it full time at some point if you just put the hard work and kind of believe in yourself a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Just take us to, like, your first day in London. So to describe, so you arrive in London. What's your first night in London like?
Ooh, so
how are you feeling? What's happening?
So I'm in Golders Green, and I rented off this room through.
Don't say Craigslist.
No, but it's honestly, it's like a Polish Craigslist, but here in London. Very dodgy. And I move in with 2 Polish couples. Honestly, like, just it was mental. It was bad. I don't have a duvet because I've just moved in. I only have 2 suitcases. I don't have the plug adapter. I've got nothing. And there was this kind Welsh girl living in the same flat share. And she gave me, like, a duvet, it was like a pillow, you know, maybe need something to start off. And then, honestly, I think I arrived around 10 a.m. I was like, right, okay, I need money. So I had my CV printed. Honestly, no experience, really. I was just good at chatting people up. Yeah. So I just went to all the cafes and bars that I could see and was like, right, can I have a job, please? Yeah. And they hired me on a day. One place in Paddington hired me and I started doing hospitality. Yeah. As anyone.
Hospo is like the world of... Have you ever heard of that song Piano Man by Billy Joel?
Oh, I think I've heard of it.
One of my favourite songs ever, but I always think of that because I did Hospo as well when I was, like, first arrived in London. I always thought, like, so many people that are working on your bars or restaurants or in your call centres or whatever are doing all sorts of stuff behind the
I'm very thankful for the job, and honestly every now and then I go back into a random hospitality shift because I generally love being behind a bar and making cocktails. I just really like it. Nice. And best people I've met, some of the collaborators, my bandmates I met through hospitality, which is crazy because that's where everyone is.
Yeah.
Art related.
Yeah.
That's where everyone is. So you just you just do that.
Yeah.
So that was my first day pretty much.
Wow.
Just very full of roller coasters and emotions. But
yeah, kind of white knuckling it through, but knowing it's all going to be, it's all, I mean, I think even aside from thinking of something as a destination or a point that you're dreaming of getting to or working towards, what I'm realizing more and more as I get older is like, this is it. Like everything that's happening now, like you and me sitting here doing this right now, and all the difficulties that might have come our way already this week, and or all the good times that we're going to have at the weekend, like all of it together, this is the whole process. And like one day we're going to look back and we're going to miss these times, like even the difficult stuff. And it's, I think, especially when you've got so many people, especially like all over social media and things, and the comparison machine
oh my God,
can go a little crazy sometimes. And you're like, but they're doing it and I'm not doing it. And I've found it's gotten easier as I've gotten older to kind of be a little bit more present with things.
It's funny that you say it because I was thinking about it the other day that yes, obviously you've got some sort of goals that, you know, like you have music related, but the best thing about it all is the journey that you're on at the moment. Like, I enjoy being heavily overworked at the moment. To some extent, I do like it.
She's such a law student.
It's like, you know, I'm going to look back in 3 months and think like, oh, okay, it's because you've done all of those things and, you know, a few months ago that things are happening now. And like you said, I'm going to look back in 5-10 years and think, oh, that's so cool. You worked so hard, but you enjoyed yourself in the process. And yeah, we forget about the journey sometimes. Just we forget that that's
easy to do. And even if it's such a platitude that gets like thrown around so much, but it's a cliche for a reason. It's like the truth of it. I feel like
100%.
Amazing. Well, we're going to hear your first track, Tears of Regret. Anything you would like to share about this song before we hear you?
Ooh. Well, this one goes out to all the single people.
I was about to stop and take a breath then. I was like,
trying to date in 2024. That one is for you guys.
Amazing. Well, this is Rose White with Tears of Regret on Alpha Sessions.
Girl walking down the street, no feelings, you shook them out of me. No soul, I lost my empathy. Look what you've done to me. From morning that day, I stopped cutting in the end. Tiptoe sneak out in the morning. Don't remember the names. Run away, they wanna see me again. I'm not playing games, I'm not playing games. No looking for a man. Hit the tannery night and I'm not painting my chest. Vodka soda, I'll sip it in tears of regret. And let them light up my cigarette. Make the move if it makes me forget for a second. With a lot, he ain't my type. Jim Lager points a football fan. He's ride or die tuners wonder all good his style. I'll give him a call. Drinking bar, first time. I'll need tequila to pretend I'm having fun. He won't shut up about a 9-to-5 life. In my head I can't the alphabet from end to start. X, Y, Z, what the heck comes after that? You lost me there, let's drink up. Let's drink up. Hit the town every night and I'm the pain in my chest. Vodka soda, I'll sip it in tears of regret. And let cigarette. Make the move if it makes me forget for a second. Sipping on the pain, inhale to forget. Oh, sipping on the pain, inhale to forget. Hit the town every night and I'm debating my chest. Vodka soda, I'll sip it in tears of regret. And light up my cigarette. Make the move if it makes me forget for a second.
The Alpha Sessions.
Welcome back. That was Rose White with Tears of Regret with me, Gigi Harland. Amazing stuff. Beautifully sung.
Thank you.
Your voice has this quality. I'm not sure how to describe it. It's very unique. I would say it's very singular. Like if I heard you on the radio, I'd instantly know it was you.
Oh, thank
And
you.
I have obviously listened to your music, but it's even better when you sit here and you hear it live in the studio. I'd encourage anybody to go see you live if they've listened to your stuff on
Thank you
on
so
Spotify.
much.
Do you have any shows? I believe you've got a headline show coming up, haven't you?
I do. It's the biggest headline show up to date. First time working with Talent Bank and Ray Jones. I'm very excited for it. Yes, so we're playing at the Fiddler's Album in Camden on the 13th of November. Then we've got one little home show in Poland, actually.
Whereabouts in Poland do you play?
So I'm going to play in my old uni city, and all the lawyer friends are going to be there. Now they've graduated, you know. They've got the degrees and all of that.
And they'll heavily relate to your song about dating in 2024.
All of them are married or like in long-term relationships.
Wow.
So I think they're going to come to the gig and just love to listen to what London is like.
They can live like vicariously through you.
I think they will. I think that's why they're coming. But yeah, so we're doing that on the 16th, and then a bit of a break. Again, just put things together.
Amazing. The song I feel like really describes the sort of comes across as like a sort of bravado kind of party exterior, which is covering something that's really quite a bit of a sucker punch moment to move through.
And I think we've all been there at some point, right?
Totally. What do you think of dating culture at the moment?
Oh, I'm signing off. Like I'm not doing it anymore. It's tough. And this song, Tears of Regret, is not only about my experience, but about my friend's experience. I hear so many stories. Like I lose faith every now and then. Because let's face it, in a big city like London, first of all, no one's got time, like ever. You plan things ahead, like 2 weeks in advance.
Even with your friends.
With your friends. And then you cancel last minute because something came up.
I was texting a friend today and I was just like, we're trying to meet for coffee. I was like, when did it become normal to need a coffee date scheduling like 2.5 weeks in advance? I was like, what age does this start?
Exactly. But I feel like that's just London and how busy you get in this city. So then imagine trying to do dates. Obviously, because you don't go out, it's not like we can just meet people in the bar.
It's kind of gone weird now, hasn't it? It doesn't really...
Unless your friends got friends, where you go on dating apps.
Yeah. Or you meet them at work.
Well,
sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there's quite a throwaway culture at the moment.
Yeah.
I feel like people are very quick to kind of, if there's one thing that gives you the ick, people just, I don't know, it's very disposable romance.
But I also feel like people don't want to commit.
Yeah.
When you live in a small city, it's not like you have a choice. At some point you meet someone and you accept the flaws and you just get on with it.
Your pool's a lot smaller.
Yeah, and in London, there's always someone new.
You have so much choice. I think it was, are you familiar with Esther Perel?
No.
She's incredible. She's like a relationship therapist.
Okay.
And if you Google her, she's got so many really interesting like talks, and there's a podcast she does, and it's all about like relationships and modern love and like infidelity and things. And she's like, you've never had so much choice in who we can date, and it's never been more difficult to commit.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a throwaway culture now. There's kind of an inability, not totally, but to see things through like the initial death of romance, and to, you know, if my friends that have been in relationships for a really long time they've all described it as kind of like falling in love with the same person over and over again in different ways, like through the years, and there's just different layers being added to it all the time. And I look at, I don't know, the young generation like coming up. I sound really old saying this, but I'm just kind of like, I wonder if that ability is still going to be there with like Tinder and stuff.
I mean, first of all, we use our phones too much, and once this is the only sort of dopamine boost you get, your phone, and you know, social media, like people just talk to their phones, and then at some point they become influencers, but they have difficulties with just meeting people in real life. Look at also another thing, people, when they go out, they need alcohol or some sort of, you know, boost to talk to strangers, like,
yeah, to be comfortable.
Yeah, what happened? Like, we can't just talk with each other anymore. And that's why when you go on dates through like dating apps, again, it almost feels like an interview when you meet that person, because you already then knowing that, okay, if the talk goes well, I guess we're gonna like kiss.
We're on to the next.
The end. Exactly.
You're on to round 2. Exactly. You made it past the other candidates.
There's no more bloody magic in anything that happens. So that's why I've tried dating apps for research purposes, I would say.
Songwriting material.
Tears of Regret is out.
And now I can sign off.
And honestly, I'm just signing off because I think it's a waste of time. Yeah. And another thing, that's why we can't date in this big city is, well, everyone is just focused on career.
Yeah.
Guilty. But you don't want to compromise your professional life. And you just want to get as many things done as possible, right?
Yeah, well, it does, especially doing what you do, it does take a lot of drive and a lot of focus. Yeah. And I bet, you know, you've worked so hard to get here as well, like, you know, like leaving countries like so young and being away from all your family and having to really like, it's sink or swim.
Yeah.
I can imagine working to a point where you're starting to feel like established and doing well. The idea of somebody coming in who may or may not completely turn that upside down is a hard thing to grapple with. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so
amazing. I'm glad you're so real about it. Honestly, it's really refreshing. On the topic of relationships, we're going to move on to your second song, which is called Next of Kin.
Yes.
This is Next of Kin by Rose White.
Uber stopped and dropped me off a neon sign retaining. Open that door, I guess this is it. Take it, I've got a job in Southeast. Limping inside, the clock strikes 2 white uniforms. They've been here since noon. I find a spot and feel informed. A man's coffee to keep me warm. I'm tempted to call you out and tell you I need you now, but darling, I'm too proud. I have to work is name, occupation, I can confirm. All up to date, he's my ID. Mom, you are missing your next of kin. I know I left it blank. I left it blank. Last time I filled in the questionnaire and wrote down your number in a little square. You sent me a read more essay over text and cut me out of your life. Once a talk, treating your mind, now a shadow of your rocky bus. And when the tables turn our lives, you found the way out. I'm tempted to call you up and tell you I need you now. But darling, I'm too proud. It's for the best. I left it blank. I left it blank. Da 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 bum ba da da ba da da bum ba da da ba da da bum. You call me, I go back in, and doctor will leave you be, and knock on the door at night. I open, not thinking twice. I wish I could see you getting off pills when your life back. But for now, I'll pull myself out and cheer you from distance, still hoping one day you'll come back. So yes, ma'am, I know I'm moving. My next of kin is missing a name. Risky games to be at it again, and so I left it blank. I left it blank. I left it blank. I left it blank.
The Alpha Sessions.
That was Next of Kin by Rose White. Sounding amazing. I'm going to keep saying that through this interview because I just love your voice so much.
Thank you.
There's a real knack that you have to your writing style, which is there's a lot of humour and kind of conversational language that you use that feels like it carries, it kind of smuggles within it something that's quite heavy. And I don't know if you feel that way about your writing, but just sometimes I find it's helpful to hear, you know, how other people receive it. It's so effective. It like just sneaks it right in there past you, because actually it's quite a sucker punch. Like, of your lyrics are like, you know, I left my next of kin box blank, and then you wrote me a massive essay text and just cut me out. I was just like, damn. I feel like a lot of people have been there before, but it's something that is so kind of mundane and conversational.
Yeah.
Delivered in quite a humorous way, but actually that's heavy.
I mean, I love writing, I love taking a situation and just really paint the picture. Like with all the details, including an M&S coffee that you get when you go to Royal Free Hospital in Hampstead. Yeah. Because that's where the idea came to me. I was actually at the hospital, just A&E, and I when they're alone, you know, you have to wait in a queue to even see a doctor. And it's 2 a.m. and a nurse is asking for my details, the national insurance number. And at some point she's like, oh, by the way, miss, do you know your next of kin is blank? And I said, yeah, I know. I left it this way. And yeah, and it's like, and then, you know, it hit me, why did I actually leave it blank? And it's, the song is not really about any romantic relationships. It's about those friendships you have, where someone just leaves, and you don't really know what happened.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they are going through things in their lives, and they need, you know, therapy. Let's face it, they need to like sort their stuff out. And funnily enough, I had next of kins, and all of them kind of left unannounced. So then for a long time I didn't have a next of kin. And it just kind of, the whole idea for the song came, but that's why it's hospital based, and it's like you've got that vibe. But yes, if you look at the lyrics a little bit deeper, you know, it goes a bit deeper.
Yeah, I mean, very on brand. Where we are as
exactly.
well.
That's what I thought.
You nailed the brief. I mean, was it a feeling of loneliness that was kind of born out of, or was it just that realization where you were like, oh? I
think both.
Yeah.
Because when you're at A&E, and I've been to A&E a few times, and it was only once that I have someone next to me. So usually I'm sat there alone with my phone charger and a book, and I just wait to see doctor with whatever happened. And when you're there alone and you know your parents are not close, because that's the thing, when you don't live when you're not from the UK, your whole family is somewhere else. Usually you would put your mum or your dad or your sister, right?
They're all over an ocean.
They're all over, yeah. They're not here. So again, when I moved here, I didn't have anyone. And friends come and go. We know that's how life is. So for me, putting someone as my next of kin, which is a person who's, if anything ever happens to me, like major, I mean a coma, I don't know, like someone who's going to get the phone call and then needs to let my parents know, you know, like it's a bigger thing for me, next of kin. Yeah. And that's why it kind of represents an important person in my life. So having them leave certain times, it's like, you know, that's why it's a jinxed position.
Really like pulls the rug out from underneath you.
Yeah.
Do you feel like how did you find the community in London in terms of the musical community when you arrived? Did you find that you made friends pretty easily in there and found collaborators, or did it take you a while, or how was it for you?
It took a while, but I started with open mics, I think, as everyone does. So you do like London is the best for it because you've got one happening every single day, pretty much, right? So I found like the first people I ever worked with through open mics, and then hospitality, loads of like
the hive for all creatives.
Like one of my main collaborators and writers and a pianist in my band, we literally met through hospitality.
Amazing.
Through working for the same company, and then, you know,
your eyes met over a martini and you were like, you.
Actually, he's my old boss's partner. So it was just at some point we started hanging out together, like, oh, you do music, I do music, let's hear it. So it's through hospitality and open mics, really.
Amazing. What was your favorite open mic that you found? Back
in the day, there was this open mic, an Old Street Records.
Yeah.
Really nice.
That's in Hackney, isn't it?
That was in Hackney. I think it stopped running after the pandemic. And now in my opinion, the best, apart from Spiritual Bar, because that's like the OG. It's amazing. Like, I've played it once and I keep promising myself I'm going to go back. But one that I want to give a shout out to, it's hosted by Pat Hens, and it's held in a Temple of Arts and Music and Arts, Art and Music in London Bridge. And that runs twice a month, and it's like you've got a beautiful stage, a sound guy.
Oh my goodness.
So the sound is just
the
like
luxury.
Really, really good. If I always go there, first of all, because the community is just great. And then if you ever want to try new material and then have it like filmed, honestly, it's
they film it too? Though?
No, they don't. But you can, you always ask someone to film it for you.
And it looks good. So,
it looks good because of the stage, and the
beautiful.
sound is always really good. And Pat is just an amazing guitarist. So yeah, it's just like my to-go-to right now if I ever feel like, oh, I want to do an open mic.
Yeah. So if anybody wanted to get started, that would be where you would recommend, or even just to go and see some really good, like up and coming, brand new music artists trying new material. That's where you'd recommend.
I'll go to
okay, I'll have to check that one out because I haven't been. Spiritual, I know.
Yeah.
Because Spiritual's a bit of a North London institution. For those that don't know, it's a tiny bar in Camden, tiny room. I don't know, what do you reckon the cap is there?
Oh my god, 25?
Yeah,
30? They've got the upstairs.
It's literally tiny. I did a show there when I did an acoustic tour with a couple of friends of mine, and I did we each took turns doing the headline show in each city, and that was it was round. It was but it's amazing because you turn up on any day of the week, and there's always a band going on or a musician, usually till about 2 a.m.
Yeah.
And it's a really attentive audience as well. You can either, if you're a singer-songwriter, people will be hushed and just silently listening, to really hanging on what you're saying. They're there for the music.
Yeah.
Or if you have a band, everyone's dancing and just it gets pretty rowdy, but in a good way.
Yeah,
so
it's always a good vibe at the Spiritual bar.
Yeah,
that's so true.
So that's
so true.
Well, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, last but not least, we are going to hear your song "Stronger," which is out on Friday.
Yes.
Happy release very soon,
very much.
coming up. How are you feeling about it?
Good. Very excited. It's a song I wrote with my pianist friend Tommy Sigalov, and we wrote it 2 years ago. And when we wrote it, I was getting over someone, and I remember I just had an idea straight away for the whole verse and the hook. It just came to me, and I asked Tommy, we have a studio in our back garden. I was like, let's just go to the studio, put it down, and we made a whole demo in 2 hours and kind of left it there. We've never performed this song live. This is the first time I'm ever going to play it here, because it just, I don't know, it just never came around doing it. And then finally I got the song produced in August. I was like, let's just run with it, because right now when I sing it, it's a different vibe. Obviously I'm doing so much better with things. So yeah, I think it's a good power soulful bop for people to sing in November and December. Hopefully.
It's going to be a world exclusive. I love this.
Just for you.
Just before we get into it, I know you had some support from Help Musicians.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about what they do, about what the organisation do? Because did they help you with making this most recent single?
Yes. So Help Musicians is a charity that help musicians here in the UK. And what you can do is apply for funding / an award. And this is what I did back in April, I believe. And you submit an application. You have to explain, obviously, why do you need the funding? Why do you need the support? Because it's not only the money that they give you. You get to speak to some people from the industry, which is so helpful. I had my sessions already, and just absolutely eye-opening things that I learned and that I'm going to implement in what I do as an artist, and just how I manage myself. And they're very, very easy to work with. So if you as an artist are anyone is looking for any support, and they know exactly what is it that they want to get. Help Musicians is the place to go and ask for help, really.
Amazing. So it's kind of, obviously they offer funding, but they also link you up with collaborators, or set you up with sessions, and
they link you up with collaborators in the way that everyone who received the award, we get to like network between each other, and then further on, because I've just received the award in August, so it's still quite fresh. But then later on, you can also just meet the other awardees and just talk to other people. Honestly, like exchange the experience you all have, and then the biggest thing is you can also look for some health support, which is, for example, as a singer, if you're looking for someone to check professionally what's happening with your vocal cords, that's what they offer as well.
That's amazing.
They work with another organization called BAPAM.
They do mental health services
as well. They do mental health services.
So amazing.
For any musicians, for example, if they need the joints checked and anything you need health related, they can help you with it as well.
That's
so
amazing.
There are no stupid questions, and honestly, it's been like September full of Zooms for me, but also really, really helpful.
Yeah. Big shout out to Help Musicians. And obviously your journey into music thus far is just, you're clearly a hard worker and crazy work ethic, and clearly they recognise that in you. So congratulations on getting the award. Well, we're gonna hear that world exclusive. This is Stronger by Rose White on Alpha Sessions.
It all went down in flames. I didn't know you took me by surprise. I turned around, you were gone in a sea of tears as you passed me by. Didn't stop, didn't ask, left me on my own. Ran away, you should have stayed, explained. In my head I used to go around and around in circles, so lost and burned. But now I'm stronger, stronger. That girl was long, and for you dodged the bullet. Now I know you fooled me once. I ate your lies, got lost in your cheating eyes. A pretty face, I rest my gaze. I should have seen the sign. Trap me in, cut my wings, get me on the ground. Knock the door and lit the house in flames. In my head I used to go around and around in circles, so lost and hurt. But now I'm stronger, stronger. That girl was long, and for you dodged a bullet. Now I know. Oh, and it made me stronger, and it made me whole, and it made me stronger, and it made me whole, and it made me stronger, and it made me whole. In my head I used to go around and around in circles, so lost and burned. But now I'm stronger, stronger. That girl was long, and for you dodged a bullet. Now I know, and now I'm stronger, stronger. That girl was long, and for you dodged the bullets. Now I know.
The Alpha Sessions.
That was the final track, Stronger, from Rose White. Thank you so much for playing that for us. Where can we find you online if people want to go and listen to your your tracks?
You can find me on the Rose White LDN. Because Rose White was taken and no one wants to give it back to me. So it's Rose White LDN like London. Yeah, that's pretty much my social media presence anywhere. And then Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, all of that there.
Amazing. And there's an EP's worth of music on there already, because you released an EP last year, didn't you? Your debut.
Yes, my debut, 1/4 mark, in February last year. So that's available everywhere. And then some new singles that I've released in 2024 and more music coming in 2025.
Beautiful.
Very excited for.
Beautiful stuff. Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing that with us. It's been a joy to have a chat.
Thank you, and lovely to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
The Alpha Sessions.